Hello and welcome to another Digital Photo Mentor YouTube Live. And today we have a special event. We're going to be talking and editing, talking about Morocco. So we have a special guest today. Let me just stop sharing my screen for a moment and we should be able to see Dan.
Hello,
So
everyone.
welcome, Dan. So Dan Korzenowski is my friend and fellow tour leader, and we are setting up to talk about Morocco from the past and future. So welcome, Daniel.
Thank you, Darlene. How are you guys?
I'm good. It's snowing here. How is Miami?
Oh, it's a wonderful day here. I just finished doing some barbecue outside in the patio. It's like 76 here in Miami, so perfect weather. Can't complain.
You're killing us. You're killing us. All right, let's see who we got here. We got Manfred. Okay, Manfred's in Florida as well. So where are you from, Manfred? Daniel's in Miami, so maybe you're not too far away from each other there. John is in Texas. Karen, of course, is in Cayman. Welcome all of the regulars. Anne, hey Anne, welcome. Nice to see you. There's Anne, Dan. Another Dan from Calgary. Deb is in Alaska. Awesome. Hey Todd, nice to see you. Virginia, yes, awesome. Todd's getting ready to go on a cruise, right, Todd? And Manfred is in Jupiter. Yeah, I'm hoping the other Anne joins in as well, Nickerson, because I've actually got a picture of her in the desert. So I don't want to spend too much time on intros today because I've got some great images of Morocco. And Dan, what is your photo editing software of choice? I know you're primarily Lightroom, correct?
Correct. Yes, I am using like a 99% level.
Okay. So I'm going to start then, and I'm going to share my screen, and I'm just going to put me and Dan over on the side over here, and I'm going to start in Lightroom, and then I'm going to do some edits in Luminar, and then Dan can do some stuff in Lightroom. So I'll try and do some Luminar edits, but I've got some fun images, of us, and we could talk about, how we've done our past tours and stuff. There's Daniel, in you're out of focus. There's Daniel in Casablanca.
Oh, come on. Do you have to show this picture? Jesus.
Yes, yeah. You want the one with the camel instead.
No,
So,
no, no, please don't do
so
that.
this was actually how Dan and I met in person the first time, because I had actually broken my leg in Colombia, and I needed somebody to come and help me do this Morocco tour because I couldn't go up the hills and whatnot, but with my ankle in a brace. So that's how Dan and I started working together, and he ended up buying this camera bag. Do you still have this bag, Dan?
No, I don't. I don't know what it is actually.
Well, it was a really nice bag. It was like this beautiful leather bag, and the joke, Daniel has so many bags, and there it is. Look, you have it. So that was our first tour together, and I'm gonna just find some. There's Dan in action with his X100. There's a new X100 coming out. Are you getting it, Dan? The 6?
What do you think? You tell me.
I think you already ordered it.
Yes, I do. I mean, I actually sold mine like a couple of years ago, thinking I was not going to use that camera anymore. I think,
Yeah.
yeah, I have the F.
Yeah.
And well, and now I was actually missing that camera. I think it's that perfect street camera, and when I saw a new one coming, oh, I had to get it. So
Mine is right there. Yeah, I still have the older model. I don't think I'm gonna upgrade, but yeah, I knew
yeah,
you would. Okay, so
yeah.
these ones, this is the first year that I went to Morocco, which was 2016, and we literally arrived in a sandstorm. This is what it looked like when we arrived, and we weren't even able to go outside. Like this is how hazy and like sand was blowing around. So we weren't even sure we were going to see anything. It was really sad. And then we got up the next morning, and we had this beautiful sunrise. So we had, walking on the dunes. You could see how big the dunes are, and we're, walking up and over the dunes. And then in the afternoon, we did a little camel tour. Oh, there's me there. Are you happy? There's me sitting on my deck. This is our deck, and the desert comes into the deck. See, there's Ann Nickerson. He's the other Ann. So we shared our room there. And we had this guy walk through the desert with the camels for us. And I got sort of my iconic Morocco shot. Bill is asking a question. What time of year? Historically, we've gone in the spring. Like this was usually around April. But
Yeah.
this year we're going in September is the plan. So I got this one with, and I added the cloud in Luminar. And if I remember correctly, I was looking through all my Morocco pictures today. I think that's my name spelled in Arabic. I think so. I don't have to get that verified from somebody, but I've got these images that I took of, we were out in the desert on the camels later in the afternoon, and you could sort of see this sandstorm starting again off in the distance. So we weren't able to stay in the desert overnight because they were worried the sandstorm was going to come again. But I took some bracketed shots because I wanted to try and get like this, sand dunes kind of look, right? Let me just take this HDR one out of here. So I want to get all these bracketed images. Where are they? So I think it's these 4, right? So I bracketed the images, and I'm going to try and pull them together. So I could do that in Lightroom, or you can actually do that in Luminar as well. And I can even do it from here as a plugin, right? So if I want to access Luminar as a plugin and use the HDR extension, instead of going edit in, I need to go to export and then find the section here on Luminar Neo and then HDR merge. So I'm going to go to HDR merge, and it will send these images over to Luminar. Oops. They have to have the same file extension. Okay, what have I done? Let me just check. Oh, I got a JPEG. That's why. Okay, let me get rid of that one. Okay, so I got 3 images. There we go. Okay, let me try that again. Export. Come on, let me just get that out of there. Okay, let's try that again. Export. HDR. Let's try that again. There we go. Okay, so now it opens up the dialog box. It knows that they're bracketed shots, and I can set up auto alignment, which I will do because I didn't take these on a tripod. I was literally on a camel, right? So I was not on a tripod. And I'm going to turn on the chromatic aberration. And I don't think there's any ghosting other than like the sand. Nothing was moving. So I'm just going to do those check boxes and then merge them. Okay, so it's going to give me a new merged HDR, which I can then continue editing in Luminar or bring it back into Lightroom, which I will do eventually. So once it processes. Did you do any HDR done?
Most likely yes, but probably processed in a different way, but yes.
Okay, so this is the image it gives me in Luminar, and I can continue processing from here. And as you can see, it's done a really nice job. We could actually compare. There's a little bit of ghosting here. I guess I should have done a better alignment. I can try and see if Lightroom does a better alignment, because what's happening is because I didn't shoot them on a tripod, it didn't align them very well here. So I can try that again and see if I get a better alignment, or choosing the deghosting. Perhaps I got a deghosting here because it looks aligned here, right? So I'm actually going to cancel out and try that again because I didn't check off deghosting, but maybe I should have. Okay, so for those of you that are watching, if you're doing HDR, ideally you want to do it on a tripod because then your images are perfectly aligned. And I'm just going to do, I'm going to say, okay, let's do that. And it allows you in here to choose which image to use to align them. So I'll just choose the medium one or the middle one as default, right? And medium. So let's see if that does a better job, because it looks like it aligned the sand dunes, but then the top horizon wasn't. Hey, look who's here, Dan. Flavio.
Yes, Flavio is there. I'm glad to see Flavio from Peru, and also Anne, of course.
Yeah, bienvenido.
Oh, amazing.
Flavio. So Flavio is our local tour guide in Peru. Okay, so now I got some weird thing happening with the sky up here, and it's still not, it's still not merging it very well. So I was hoping to do this one in Luminar, but maybe I'm not getting a good merge here. So let's try it. Let's try it in Lightroom. So instead of that, I'm going to go HDR in here. The one thing I have noticed, Dan, is that if you've ever tried the HDR pano with Lightroom, I've tried that with some images I shot where I took like 4 panels and also did HDR of each one in Portugal, in Madeira, and Lightroom did not want to merge them. Okay, so this looks like, it looks like it's merging a little better here. So I'm going to go with the Lightroom HDR instead. Okay, so I'm going to use the deghost. Everything looks good, and I'm going to merge it. So I'm use the bracketed shots, even though I wasn't on a camera, because I want to try and get the detail in the sky, and keep the detail in the sand dunes. Okay, here's
and HDR today there is not the same HDR like
I know.
10 years ago, right? Like when people like they were on all grungy and weird effects and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We are not talking about that kind of HDR. It's like a totally different one, right? So we are combining all the images into a single file, so you can get, on the DNG the best of, each of the files that you have.
Exactly. Now this one I did Lightroom auto adjust, but I don't like what it's done, so I'm just going to do my own. So I want to brighten it so that I get some light on the sand dunes. Keep that highlights down in the sky, and then everybody that's watched before knows my trick with maybe you don't even know this one, Dan. So if you put your mouse over the word blacks and hold the shift key and then you double click, it pops down to the black point. That's a little too much black. And it's a little bit yellow for me, so I'm gonna dial down a little bit of yellow. And it looks like, see, I need to crop because it's getting the oops, that's not what I want to do. Go back over here. I'm used to the keyboard shortcuts in 2 different software, so I use the keyboard shortcut. Rob, if you could please share the keyboard shortcuts for Lightroom. I use the C, which is a Luminar keyboard shortcut instead by accident. Okay, so there I crop it. And I'm still not crazy about this color. I don't know why it's really red in the sand dunes here. So I'm gonna use this new point color in Lightroom because I really like this one. So I'm gonna select this red color here. Yeah, so that gives me the sand, and I'm gonna shift it a little bit more yellow. Oh no, that's adjusting that. Okay, there we go. Shifting the hue a little more yellow. I like that. And let's brighten it a little bit. Have you used this new point color yet, Dan?
I did. Didn't use it much, but I play with it.
Yeah, so see what it's doing on the sand. It's taking out that red. Okay, so I used that point color to target the red. That looks pretty good. Now the sky, I want to have more drama. So I'm going to go back and use the dehaze. Yeah, see, it's affecting everything. So I don't want to affect the sand. I just want it on the sky. So I'm going to do a mask and do a mask to the sky. And I'm going to just do a little dehaze here because I want this drama. There's some weird color in that sky.
Dar, how long did you trek for that picture? Because it looks like you are like in the middle of nowhere and that you hike for like 5 hours to get to that picture.
We were probably 4 hours. Yeah,
but like, but how did you get there?
On the camels.
Of course. So that's basically literally like 5 steps out of your tent, right?
No, we went for 2 hours out into the desert and 2 hours back.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, because we
So
didn't
we.
stay in the tents, right? So we went into the middle of nowhere, like you said. So I'm kind of happy with that. I'm not crazy about this yellow. I'm going to turn down the yellow a bit here. So I'm going to use the color mixer and dial the saturation of this yellow down. I'm not crazy about that yellow. And I still want to adjust this pink. So I'm using HSL and the hue now, and I'm adjusting this pink because I don't want pink. I want more yellow. There we go. Let's dial the red more to orange. Oh, I like that better. Right. And if you're having, I showed people this a trick last week. If you're having trouble with, like, I'm getting lots of red in the shadows here, right? So if I want to get the red out, go to the opposite color, and I'm adding it into the shadows here using the color grading tool. And I'm just going to add, see how it's making the sand blue? And my cat's on my desk now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just getting rid of some of that red there, like that. So there's my original pulled out from the bracketed images and the HDR. So I'm kind of happy with that. I think I cropped this one into a pano originally, but I like to see this dune at the bottom. What do you think? Crop it or leave it?
I think it works both ways.
Both ways. Yeah.
Yeah. I like that one because you have, like, the highlight on the bottom, which is
Yeah,
nice.
exactly.
And,
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah. But the other one, the crop is also nice.
Okay, I think it's your turn. So I'm going to turn off my screen share and you can put yours.
All right. Let's see.
And I got a cat on my desk. Rob, it's cat food time.
All right, guys. Oh, my screen went somewhere. Can you see
I
it
got
or
it.
not?
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So yeah, I went first time to Morocco in 2017. Like Darcy, and it was like a truly fantastic country. I mean, it was an amazing experience. This is what I saw when I was getting there on the first day, and I was basically landing there. And it was like, fantastic. It was like, okay, it set the tone for everything that was going to come. And a lot of people ask how easy or difficult is to photograph people in Morocco. It's tricky.
You froze for a second, Dad.
Okay, can
Photographing people,
you?
I think you were talking about.
Oh yeah, I think, like, oftentimes people ask how difficult or easy it is to photograph people in Morocco, and it's different. Like, so it depends how you approach people, and you can see. But like doing street photography, like I was doing here in Morocco when we got there, is super easy. And Morocco is one of my favorite places because there is a lot of variety of things that you can do. Before everyone arrived, I started wandering, in the Medina, and this is what I saw. I stand there. There were these people, these guys playing there. The dog was there, and it was amazing. And at that time, I was by myself. Nobody was there in the group yet because I arrived a couple of days before. So you can do a lot of stuff in Morocco. Some of my favorite pictures I did there. And obviously, the cathedral, the Grand Mosque is amazing. And photographing people. Look, this is a market. Okay, so no problem. Just right, walk to them. Some people don't like to be photographed, but some other people, they don't have any problem. All you have to do is, like, show your camera and let them know that you are going to photograph them. So really, really an amazing place for that. This is a Waterman. Like, we photograph, in what was that? This is in Chefchaouen. Okay, so on the way to Chefchaouen.
Oh, that
So
is,
yeah,
yeah. What is the Rabat?
Rabat, yes, yes. And like early morning in Chef when I photograph this man. Nobody wants to get out of bed normally. I am just myself and a couple of people following me. But if you do, you get rewarded with this kind of photos. So
Yeah.
so there is absolutely an amazing country for people to go there and photograph.
Did you tip him, that guy?
No, 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 no. I just show him the camera and say hello in English. Obviously, he doesn't speak the language, but he agree, and he looked like super serious and intimidating at first,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think it worked out pretty well. So I'm going to try to. Anne says, I got my best portraits in Morocco thanks to them. Thank you, Anne. So, out of the many trips that we had there, I have some images that I have not edited yet, and I'm going to maybe pick one now and just show how I edit. Let me see.
The other thing you could do then is pick 2 or 3, and then we let everybody vote on which one they want to see you edit. So pick a couple of different ones, and then put them up on the
Okay.
screen together, and then say which one you want. We can have
Okay, let's try this. These are from Fez, the Medina in Fez, which is
the leather
truly
factory. Yeah.
a fantastic
Cannery.
place. This is the leather factory. So let me pick one of these. Maybe let me
That one, yeah.
see
Yeah.
something else. One from the girls that we photograph in the palace. This is the other one.
Okay.
And let's see, 1, 2. And how about this seller? Okay, so
The
these 3.
snails.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so which one do you guys want me to do? 1, 2, or 3?
Okay.
Let's vote.
Vote in the chat and tell us which one you want Dan to process. The first one, the second one, or the third one. So the first one is a guy. I remember that guy, and I have pictures too. He's selling snails. And the other girl we had paid some models to pose for us in this beautiful place. And the third one is the tannery, and the guys are in these vats, and it's like lye, and I watch them washing their they wear these, like, what do you call them, hip waders up to their hips because they're in lye. Everybody's so far lots of number 2s. Number 2, number 2, number 2. Anne says number
Okay.
3. So number 2 it is.
All right, number 2. So, okay, let's go to this one and see if I can get to the develop model.
Did you use a flash on this one, or it's just natural light on this one, I think, right?
I think if we use a flash, we put it on the window. So sometimes, one of the things that we do when we go to Fez is we go to this palace. This is an old palace that we rent for an afternoon, and we bring models. The other pictures that you guys saw are like, natural people on the street. This is something that we arrange, and it's a fantastic afternoon that we spend there. There are several locations within this place, and we have, 2 models or 3 maybe that can share other pictures from that place that we have before. So from before. So one of the things that I do when you are looking my screen, right? Yes. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe this is cheating, but I photograph or I shoot with Fuji cameras, and one of the great things about it are the camera profiles, or different, matching the different film simulations that from Fuji. And I normally pick first what film simulation I'm going to use, and that gives me a very good starting point, and there is little to do on the images. Of course, it depends on the image. So for this type of image, I normally go with either classic chrome or Astia soft, which is the one I'm going to choose now. So that's the one I'm going to go. And then one of the first things I do is I correct my lens, because I like straight lines. I don't like my images to Yeah, I am obsessed with that. So,
And just as
yeah,
a side note for people watching, Dan has his clipping warnings turned on as well. So
correct.
the red that you see in the window, and then the blue that was in the background, that's just the clippings.
Yes, and I'm going to correct that very quick. So I first, fix my crop, so I know, I have straight lights in the windows,
Did you
and
just use
now
transformation on that one and did auto, or what did you do for correcting the
I
light?
did. Yeah, I normally the first thing I do, depending on the image, is I go to auto, and most of the time it works that way. Also, I think it helps because when I am photographing, I have my level turned on in the camera, and I try to shoot as level as I can. So that's normally 90% of the way I do it, and then it's easy to fix in Lightroom. So let's see. I'm going to open the shadows on this one a little bit and recover the highlights to get rid of those. And I think it's a little bit underexposed. So I'm going to expose there. And I'm going to add a little bit of vibrancy and saturation, not much. Um, And another thing I do normally to add a little bit of contrast is I play with curves, like making sure I am not clipping anything there. I doing a little bit more there. And again, I'm going to go back and recover those highlights back. So some things that I do sometimes is I want to have more attention on the subject, so I'm going to use the masking, and that's a mask almost perfect for hair. And with that, I'm going to copy and invert that mask, duplicate and invert. So now I have two different masks. One is for the girl, and the other one is for the rest of the images. So I normally change the exposure a little bit on the background, and I add more light into her. Let me get that one.
The other one, the bottom one.
Yeah, it's not, something is not working. Okay, there you go. Okay. So that way I have, more light into hers. The light here was like, very good. So there is really not much that I have to do. If I have to critique myself, it's like, this area here is a little bit too dark. I am not sure if I can do something
I
to
don't mind
probably
it.
with. You don't mind it? Okay,
No,
I
I
think
don't
it's a
mind
little.
it.
Let's see if I
You
can
want
open
some
it that
detail?
a little. I don't know, maybe. Let's see. Not no, the other way.
Maybe
Yeah,
just on the shadows.
yeah.
Yeah, it's probably
All
not
right.
much detail.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah. Well,
Oh
it's
yeah.
not. Yeah. So a little bit.
Oh yeah. It gives it a
Um,
little bit more depth. Yeah.
yeah. Uh, yeah, and that's pretty much. I am pretty much done with this. I don't know if you there will do something
I would
different
put a
to it.
vignette. I would put a vignette.
Yeah, I was thinking. On that. So get rid of that. Vignettes. You have two different ways to do it, depending, how fast I want to edit. Sometimes I do it like this, just go into the software and do the regular vignette. And sometimes I do like a radial filter,
Yeah.
and it just give me more control of what it's doing. But that's pretty much, this is what's the before and this is the after, and that's my
Close the
edit
mask.
for this one. Yeah.
Yeah. Close the mask, and then let's see the before. Yeah. Oh
hmm
no, you still have the mask open. It's just over there now.
No, it's not. Well,
Yeah, it's
you
popped
have
into
it.
the panel. It popped into the panel now. Close the
Oh,
mask.
okay. Yeah, I know. Okay. Yeah.
Just press on the other mask. Just press the mask
What is
again.
doing?
Just press the
Okay.
mask. Yeah, there you
Yeah,
go.
there you go.
There you
Okay. All right.
go.
See, that's why Darlene is a great educator, perfect teacher. I cannot do what she's doing. So
See, what I would do is, have you used any of the new presets for like the skin smoothing and stuff for Lightroom? I would go
yes,
to
I did.
I would go
Yes,
to
I did.
presets on her. I would go to
Mhm.
presets and do one of the automated ones. Yeah, go open there, presets.
Here.
Yeah, I'm
Oh no, I
speaking.
didn't use these ones.
There's
This one? Which one is
there
that
should
one?
be a new one. Go all the way to the bottom. The new ones.
Deep
There's one.
skin?
Yeah, adaptive. The ones
Here.
adaptive ones. Adaptive
Yeah,
portrait. Yeah,
adaptive
yeah.
portrait, enhance, glamour
Glamour.
portrait,
Yeah, do the
polish.
glamour because I just do the glamour one. What I did is I used that one and then I edited it to make how I like the settings. So yeah, do that one.
I never used this.
Go for it. Did it go?
Okay.
Now go to the
Mhm.
mask because if you applied it already, it adds a bunch of masks. Just open the mask.
Oh, I see.
See what
Okay.
it does? It applies lots of things,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it
yeah.
looks like it's not
Yeah.
finding her. It's not finding her face because her face is turned sideways. That's interesting.
I
Yeah,
can see.
interesting that
Yeah.
it didn't find her face. That's interesting.
Yeah.
It would have done a much better
Yeah.
job. Yeah. Try it on a
If
different one.
we,
Let's try it later. Yeah. Because
yeah, we'll try it later. I
it
never
should,
used that one. I always did it manually. I like
oh yeah,
all
no, try
these. I
that
will
one.
go and mask them and do it manually.
Yeah, try that one.
Yeah,
Okay.
I will try that.
Myrna says nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
thank you.
Okay, let me
No,
go.
honestly, let me stop. So honestly, Morocco is fantastic, and we have been there so many times that I think we have an incredible
I have so
itinerary.
many. Yeah. Well, and I
And I
want to
have
show you guys.
FOMO that I am not going. So
Yeah, I want to show you guys this because everybody that goes with me knows that I have this thing about kitty cats, and everywhere I go, I keep finding these cats. So I have like I could make a whole book of cats of Morocco because they're everywhere. Like you see cats everywhere. They don't like dogs very much there. You won't see a lot of dogs, but you see cats like literally everywhere. Like look at. Oops, I don't have this one. Look at the cats everywhere. Cats. That's that same palace with the cat was in the fountain. So pretty cute. All right, so let me see. Let me choose some images that people want me to edit. I've got the tannery as well. I've got the kitty. I'm gonna do something different. Here,
yeah, this is
I
what I
could
am
do
doing
the.
here.
Yeah, this is Dan. Oh yeah. So if everybody read the email that I sent out,
Oh my God.
yes, I know I'm gonna say it. I'll show my embarrassing photo as well. So who fell off the camel, do you think? Vote in the chat now. Who fell off the
That's an
camel?
easy one. That's an easy one
Well,
for
and
for
Anne
Anne.
knows.
For
Anne
Anne.
already
For
knows.
Anne. Anne, you cannot participate, Anne.
George knows as well. Yes, George knows as well.
Oh, George, yeah.
How about if I do one of these ones from the Casbah? These are kind of cool as well.
Yeah.
So I've already processed this guy like a million different ways. And this is Casbah here. So I'll give you guys a choice of here's ones with the chickens. Okay. Here's four different ones. Okay. So this man, pick which one you want me to edit. So 1, 2, 3, or 4. So one top left, top right, 3, 4. He is in the Casbah 8 Ben Hadu, and we visited him, and he serves us tea. Do you remember his name? He's a very nice man, and I sat with him and had tea while you guys went and walked up to the top there.
Yes,
Dan
I have his name somewhere. Let me.
Okay, Dan. Isla says both of us fell off the camel. Well, no,
Yeah, and Anne wants to buy my silence. No.
you have to pay her, basically, is what she's saying.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah.
it was Dan who fell off his camel. Do you want to tell him what happened?
Oh, I don't remember. Oh, I mean,
Yeah,
come on.
the
Come
camel
on,
was
you.
going down. The camel was going down. And if you've ever been on a camel, they you sit like this, and then they go down on the front feet, and you have to hang on, or else you fly forwards off the camel, and that's what happened for Dan.
I mean, come on. This is normally is very straightforward, very easy. Okay, so there's no problem. However, this camel, he was not having a good day. He was not
Oh
happy.
yes,
So
that's
I
right.
was yeah, he was mad for whatever reason. So when we finished, while I was trying to get out of the camel, he decided to, make me land on my
Yes.
butt with my camera and everything. Like, and I was cutting camera. I mean, I don't know if somebody has that video or not. Hopefully not, or I delete it from the phone.
I'm looking at the votes here. So I've got 1, 2, 3 votes for number
No,
4.
Dan, there was no not that much to the camera.
Oh, Dan,
Yeah, like Dan said, just my dignity.
only
Yes.
dignity. Yes, only
Yes.
dignity. Yeah.
Yes.
And unfortunately, I kept asking Anne, do we have a video? Okay, so Anne says number 3. We got a couple of votes for number 3, a couple of votes for number 1. Well, it's all over the place. Nobody wants the chickens. Well, I've done number 4 a lot of different times already. So let me show you how I've processed this one, because I've done it so many different ways. So yeah, we had him pose here, and he's got his cape or the blanket, and this is where he lives. So I did this one, which was a more sort of very rustic. I wanted it to feel that sort of grunge look. So I've done it a few different ways. I kind of like this one with the yellow toning. I even put some with a border on like this. But let me do a different one. The other vote was for this one, so I want to do something different because I've already processed that other one. So let's do this one. I am going to take this one into Luminar just because I want to show some Luminar processing for those of you that are watching Luminar. So I'm going to take it straight in. Normally I would go to Photoshop, but my computer is already like tasking here with streaming and doing all these things. So I'm just going to go straight into Luminar because I don't want to get Photoshop involved here. Okay. So I could start with a preset if I want, but generally urban style, which is interesting. So these are suggested presets. Interesting. Okay. This is one that I got recently from Skylum. I think they had a special offer on it or something, and I got this one. So when the presets load, you can just hover over and see, what kind of look you're going to get. And I like doing this just for ideas, because sometimes, like, that's how I got the idea to do the other one, sort of, faded, like yellow. I kind of like one of these ones here. There was one that I liked here. I kind of like this one. It's like faded out, but these are not bad. Let's try this one. I'm kind of, I do like the idea of making it look faded. We could go full black and white on this one. There's lots of texture, right? I know I've got another one in here. Where is it? Filmatic. There's some good ones in here, and I'm trying to use ones that come with Luminar, so that if you don't have these ones, right? So there's a full black and white. Oh, that one's making him look skinnier. See, so there's the body AI. Dan, you might like that one. I know Rob will. See, look, it makes him skinny. I kind of like that one. It's a nice fade there. And the neat thing is, if you apply one of these, you can actually dial it down, right? So there's a slider. Like I say, well, I like this idea, but maybe not so much. Let's see, what about artistic? Some of them even apply a texture overlay, which is kind of neat. Yeah, none of these are like screaming at me, that grabbing me immediately. There's also a set that I'm working on right now, but in the Skylum marketplace, these are ones that I made for portraits. And just because they say portraits doesn't mean you can't use it on something else. But let's just see. Okay, so punchy black and white, I think looks good. This one has a texture overlay, and I like the idea of that one. A low key makes everything darker. This one's doing some retouching. lots of grunge on this one. Oh, I don't want a glamour glow, and I don't need a bokeh. So I think this antique one actually is kind of nice because it applies a texture overlay and it gives me kind of this like sepia look, and I can go and adjust it. Okay, so I'm going to start with this one. This is one of my own that I made. And again, it's part of the fabulous faces you can find in the marketplace. Okay. And then once I apply it, I can go back here and you can see all of the things that have been done on this one, right? So on this one, I've applied Skin AI to do some smoothing. But in the case of this guy, you know, maybe I don't want to do some smoothing. I want to actually enhance like the texture of his face instead of smoothing, right? The other thing I love about the face, this one is brilliant done. Like you can bring the face light. Look, it's like a reflector right on the face.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can like yeah.
yeah, it's brilliant. But I like to change the eye color. Okay, so if we look at his eye color, I can see that it's kind of, oops, let me zoom in a bit more. I can see that his eye color, I think, is brown. Yeah, brown or even hazel. But it allows you to pick a new iris color here. And you can see if I choose brown and then brighten it, I might get some more color. Let me try hazel. It picks up a color in his eyes a bit more. I kind of like the brown. So I'm going to go with brown. Actually, honey is a nice color too. Okay, so it changes the color. It gives me more color in his eyes. Right. We can check red eye removal if they have some red. I don't want to remove the darkened circles under his eyes. I want to keep his face as integrity as, you know, the integrity of his face. So see how that's doing a nice job under his eyes for the dark circles. So if I want to lighten them a little bit, you know, I can. Right. You can also do the mouth. I don't want to give him lipstick. So you can actually, you know, see the lips. You can add the makeup here. I can just darken his lips a little bit and just go through these things one by one. Okay, so I kind of want to see what each of these are doing. It looks like I removed accent AI. I might put this one a little bit, right? A golden hour. Maybe I work on this one. And somewhere along the way, I've gone dramatic. Okay, so details. This one I might enhance even more. So I've added lots of details on this one. Right, see what it's doing. It's doing a really nice job to bring out all these details. I think I need to do some denoise as well because I'm seeing a lot of noise in his shirt and his tunic. Do you remember what that thing he's wearing is called, Dan?
Yes, a Jilava.
Jalava. Okay. Okay, so I can do some local contrast. I love drama. Oh yeah, look at this. I love this tool because look at, I can do this, but I want to keep the drama into the middle of the image and not the edge. So I'm going to mask this one. Right, see it's covering the whole image right now. So I'm going to mask it and just do a radial gradient so that I'm just putting the drama in the center of the image. I grab that. There we go. So I don't want the edge so much. So I'm drawing, oops. My thing's going crazy. I want the drama here, not on the edge. Okay, so where the red shows, that's where it's going to apply. So see how it's just picking up the texture in the middle, right? I could also copy this mask. This is where I'm getting the matte look. I want to darken the whole image as well. I think he's overall a little bright. So I'm going to come all the way back to develop at the beginning here. And I'm going to darken this a little bit. Like so. Okay, so now overall he's a little dark, but remember the face will get dodged with the face light here. See, look at that. Look at face light. And we'll come back to dramatic. Dramatic tends to lighten things as well. So I want to make sure I'm not getting overly bright here. There we go. There's a matte look. I like that. Then I added a LUT, which is the Antique Touch LUT. Okay, there's toning. Then I added some more toning. I put a orange. This is all part of the preset, right? So it's just adding some more color into the shadows here. So all of these things are adjustable. Okay, so instead of removing the noise, I added some film grain here. So maybe I'm just gonna go with that. Oops. Why is it doing that? That's weird. Okay, I don't know what's happened here. There we go.
There you go.
Okay, and then I put a vignette. And the neat thing about remember Dan was talking about a vignette, if he wants to put it off center, you don't have to do that with Luminar because you can center it or uncenter it. So I can choose the subject here and put my vignette down here. How cool is that?
Interesting.
Yeah, so you can adjust the position of the vignette here. I think I want it.
I have to use it more. I mean, I have Luminar, but I never use it. So
you should.
yes,
I'm gonna
I
put it
know.
up a little bit more. I'm trying to get the bottom a little darker, so like that. There we go. Munch! My cat is scratching my camera bag now. Okay, so now I'm done with this in Luminar. I think I'm happy with this. I might want to crop it a little bit, but I'm going to do that back in Lightroom. So I'm going to send it back to Lightroom. And I don't know about the wire here. I might get rid of this wire. I haven't decided yet. But I kind of like this effect. Okay, so now when you bring it, what the heck? I don't know why it's got that. There's that black mark again. I don't know. My computer's doing a weird thing. Okay, I'm going to ignore that. It's my computer, guys. It's my computer. So I'm going to do what Dan did and just correct the verticals here. So I'm going to use the transform. I'm going to transform vertical. And I want to...
Try auto.
Yeah, I did. It didn't do a whole lot. There.
Oh, really?
Like this.
Okay.
Yeah, like this. Let's try like that. Right. So that's kind of my finished look minus the weird thing in the middle. So ignore
the ovni. Yeah.
Yeah, the obelisk. I have the obelisk. Okay, it's your turn. You can just keep your screen sharing because I can just switch them on here. So yeah, do your screen share again.
Really?
Yeah, I can just switch them on the layout.
Yeah, because every time that I do, my screen goes, I don't know where.
Yeah, well, now we can see you're shopping on Amazon.
Really? Jesus.
Yeah,
No.
what are you buying? I am gonna get...
Okay. So
yes,
okay, so this guy is he's fantastic. He lives here. Okay, there is only a few. I think it's less than a handful of families
that's a nice
that live on this place. This is the Kasar. Kasar is a walled city, and there are many in Morocco. This one in particular, which is in Ait Ben Haddou, is been featured in many movies. So, but this is not a movie set. This exists, and this is amazing. So this was prior to sunset time, and this was like a blue hour in there. So truly an amazing place, and that guy is fantastic because he lives there, and I have many pictures of him. This was in 2018. We went inside his house. He invited us for tea. The whole group was photographing him, so I put him like by that window, and this is just window light. So and then he changed to a different outfit, and we photographed him again. So fantastic guy, and living on a like out of this world. Where is
yeah,
this?
it's like 500 years old or something, isn't it?
Yeah,
like a house.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna answer Dan. Hang on a second. I'm just gonna answer the other Dan's question about. He said, "Are the edits you apply in Lightroom affecting Luminar edits?" No. Once I hit apply, Dan, and it takes it back into Lightroom. Now I'm just editing in Lightroom. So that's why I said I usually do Photoshop in between because then it's non-destructive because it'll apply. In Photoshop as a smart object, as a filter on the layer, and then I can get back to Luminar if I want, like to fix that issue with my whatever happened on that little obelisk thing there. But because I just applied it directly, it cooked it in, and it's now a new image. And my cat is doing things behind me now. Okay, munch.
All right, how about we edit the second option from Fest for this guy in
Sure.
the.
Sure.
Okay, so let me see this one. Yeah, that one. Okay, I think that one is better. Okay, so this is in the tanneries, and again, I use 99% Lightroom for this. And we went time of day that was like probably mid-morning, but the building is covered and there is very very good light overall on this, and we are photographing this from one of the balconies that are around this. You can also, if you're there, you can just go and go on the level there. I mean, to the same level where they are, but I did a couple of times. The smells are not very nice,
Yeah,
and yeah,
that's for sure.
and normally they are not very happy of seeing you around there. But it's okay. I mean, if you go with the with the guide, you will be fine. So okay, let's pick first. The color profile, and for this type of pictures, I really like a classic chrome. That's one of my go-to. It's very contrasty, and it gives you very nice color that are not super saturated. So so basically, what I'm going to do is going to use curves right now to adjust the white and black points. Just maybe there. And there, but I am clipping some of the blacks. Yes.
That's okay.
You were going, yeah, no. What you were going to say?
I was just going to show you another shortcut because you did that with curves, and I'm teaching lots of curves for people lately. So this is good that you're showing them that as well.
Yeah.
But there's a shortcut for you. Remember, I showed put your mouse over the word white.
Yes.
Yeah, and shift double click is will set the white point as well. There you go.
Okay. And
And
same
the
for
same
black.
with black. Yeah, same for black.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right.
But I usually
Okay.
clip a little bit of black. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So on this specific case, so I'm going to use like a little bit of vibrancy. And normally, if I am using classic Chrome, I like to desaturate a little bit because I don't want those reds to be that red and stuff like that. So that's to protect mostly the skin tones of this guy. But in this case, I'm going to do something similar to what Darlene did before, because I want more of the attention going toward the subject, and I'm going to do that with a mask. So I'm going to do like a radial gradient over him, and then I'm going to invert the mask. Let me see if this one works. And I try to do it in a way that is subtle and also that makes sense on the way the light falls into the subject. So obviously the mask right now is affecting when the where the red is. So I need to invert this because I want to affect the other areas, not him. And then from there, I'm going to drop the exposure on those areas, and I don't care that my at this point that all these blues are my blacks are clipping, but it's really not that much, and can adjust the shadows there a little bit and get rid of those. Not sure about color cast because I see a lot of blue in the image there. I would probably
Yeah, it
like
looks
a
like
little bit,
blue or
yeah,
pink, blue magenta.
yeah, yeah. But that's mostly on the darkest areas. I don't see that problem in his, so I'm going to fix it in the mask. And I think it looks good there. probably get rid of that clipping on there. Okay, so that one I think worked well. So this is let me see. Yeah, okay, this is without the mask, and that's with the mask. You guys seeing like how much is changing, and there is more attention on the subjects. And I'm going to close this one now, go back to here, and probably add even a little bit more, but with the regular adding just like a vignette in the software.
Dan,
And
Rob
I
has
think
Rob has
yes.
a question, and I'm going to slip to the bathroom while you're editing. So Rob wants to know, how many spots are left on this fall's Morocco tour.
All right. Okay. How many on the Cuba tour? I don't see it on dance special. Oh, okay. All right. So yeah. Okay. So we actually have 3 trips coming. We have like 6 spots open out of 10 for Morocco. This is in September. For Cuba is in January. In January 2025, we only have 5 spots left on that one. And then we are doing Japan tour, which I am very excited about it, in March next year. And we have 6 spots open there as well. So those are the next tours that we have coming up with Dar. So Dar is doing Morocco. I am going to be doing Cuba with her on the extension, where we are going to Viñales, and both of us are going to Japan. So that's what we have coming. So I was telling them the 3 tours that we have coming there, and who is going where. So
Perfect.
yeah. So all are amazing trips. Like Morocco, as you can see, Morocco, you cannot get. I mean, you can get photographs like all the time, all day long. As long as you are willing to, get out on the street, is totally safe. There was a question that I had from someone couple of weeks ago regarding, because there was an earthquake in Morocco, I think back in September and stuff like that. So we reached out to our tour operator, and the epicenter of that quake was about 50-60 kilometers out of Marrakech, and there is everything is open. So right now everything is normal. What was most affected are rural areas, but all the major points where we are going are totally fine to go now. So this is my edit for this, and that is going to one place that she had FOMO because it was on a trip that she was not there, and I think I was there.
Yeah.
And that's Essaouira. It's a fantastic place.
With the goats in the trees.
Yes, with the goats in the trees. Yes, correct, absolutely correct. So yeah, that's my edit for this image.
Anne says she's done Cuba tour with Darlene and Dan. You forgot about India, Anne. India was like, are you flabbergasted? Flabbergasted. Okay.
She says goats in the tree, my highlight. Yes,
yeah,
you even call one of those goats in your and your
so Anne and her friend Lynn have been on multiple tours with us, so we appreciate you always joining us, and her sense of humor, because they like to dress the tour guide up, so they like to dress Dan up. I think did they put you in that one with the hat and everything? And then they dressed up Cav. They dressed up Cav in India.
In India, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I wanted to show people, like, this is some of our groups, right? So this was the first year that I went to Morocco. It was just me, Ann Nickerson there. I got like photos with her. A couple from, oops, where did it go? I lost them. Couple from Ontario, Alan and G. They've come on a couple of tours with us as well. So really good groups. That was our guide the first year, and then the second year, we had a new guide, and Ali. Almost don't even want to tell people because he's like our secret weapon. This was 2017, and even Rob managed to get in this one. So Rob's hiding in the back there. That was our group from 2017, and we have the most amazing guide there as well. So we just have a fantastic time. You can see the kind of groups that we take. Okay, so I want to do something different on this next one. I want to see if I can stack up some light painting. This is from the garden in Marrakesh. I found those ladies there.
Yeah.
So let me just show a few more images because, like you question that people asked about, street photography and can you photograph people in Morocco, and you can. I found lots more willingness in Casablanca than some of the other places, but also because when you come on a tour, we arrange a lot of these things for you. It was funny. Anne and I were just walking around the Medina in Casablanca, and these guys were cooking this fish, and they said, "Come back later. We'll give you a fish." So yeah, you can do, street photos and things. I thought this one was kind of an interesting one as well. I like the sort of, the scooter there is very modern with what looks like ancient, right? I took a fisheye lens with me. This one too, I like sort of the, the juxtaposition of the modern city with a piece of like the mosque, even though the mosque is new. And I thought this one I've edited before, but now with the new Photoshop, right? So my original one, I think I did some corrections on this one, in terms of, yeah, there's not a lot of room here. Like I backed up as far as I could, but I couldn't correct the, I'm just going to reset this one because I'm curious if I can go in here and do, see if I do a full correction, I end up losing a lot of the image. But if I just do, vertical, that doesn't feel right to me. I'm just going to try auto. That looks better. Okay, so now if I had to crop this, right, I'm going to lose the top of the buildings, right? But if I leave it this way, I can take that into Photoshop now and fill that in, right? So I'm actually going to do this one again. Let me do this one real quick, because if I take this to Photoshop, I want to update my edits here and make sure my edits are good. So I'm just holding down the Alt Option key, and I'm checking my clippings. Yeah, so everything is good there. There's a little bit of a highlight or outline around the edge there. Can you guys see that? And I don't know if that's like chromatic aberration. And let me check that. That's turned on. Okay. And this is a Fuji file, so it should be okay. There's something. Can you guys see that little edge there? And I don't know if it's like I've adjusted the sky, maybe. I think I adjusted the blue. And let me look in here. Yeah, I lowered the blue. That's what happened. See?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you have to watch that you're adjusting and you get this halo. So I'm gonna adjust that a little bit softer, and I'm gonna mask to the sky before I take it. So I've got this one here because the sky was brighter on this side. So I added this linear gradient just to kind of even it up a little bit. But I'm going to add another one for just the sky and see if I can get it having a little bit more drama, maybe even dehaze. Yeah, see, I still get that. Don't do that. Like, don't do those kind of edits. I'm still watching out this little outline here. I might have
to which is something that sometimes happens when you are doing masking. Is like sometimes you have to be very careful.
Perfect. Yeah, it's not perfect.
Yeah, it's not perfect.
Okay, so I'm going to go from there, and I'm going to take it to Photoshop. So I'm going to do Smart Object, let's cross my fingers and hope that Photoshop works okay. And we were talking about 8 Ben Hadu earlier, and I put a link in the chat just to like a website that talks about it. It's a really neat heritage place, and they actually filmed a number of movies there, including The Gladiator with Russell Crowe. Yeah, and we saw, when you go up to the top, you can see where it says the movie was filmed here. Okay. So I'm going to use, I could have done this in Luminar too, actually. So anything, you need to have the generative, tools. Okay, so you need to use the generative AI in Photoshop or in Luminar to do this, because I want to fill in these areas here. So I'm just going to get a lasso, and you want to get a little bit of it. And I'm just going to hit enter. So under generative fill, if you don't type anything, it tries to use content aware and generate what it thinks is going to be there. So I should get the building filling in and the sky filling in, and Photoshop will give me 3 variations so that I can pick. Okay, so you can see right here. Okay, let me just zoom in a little bit. So there's variation 1, 2, 3. I kind of like 3. I like the fact that there's a person there, but there's some duplication. I might want to fix that. I kind of like 3. So I'm going to go with that. And then I would do, and see how it puts it as a new layer. Okay. So it's right here as a new layer. Right. Then I'm going to do another selection over here. And I'm trying to get just a little bit of that. And I'm going to hit enter again. It takes a moment because it's literally sending information to the cloud, pulling back from the Adobe cloud and the stock images. It's trying to fill in with stock and stuff that's in the Adobe stock library. Well, that looks pretty good right there. That's maybe even better. I'm looking at this top here, like a roof of something. It even put like a little pipe there. Okay, so I like number 2 on this one. Okay, now if I want to, I can fix this area here because there's some weirdness going on over here with the sky. But before I do that, I'm going to actually expand the canvas because I want a little bit more space. So I'm just going to get the cropping tool. Okay. And I want to clear it. So I need to just get a regular. Okay. So crop. And when I expand this up, right, it's going to fill it in. If I just hit enter without putting in anything here, it's just going to fill it in as well. So same kind of idea. Oh, it didn't fill it in for me.
And if you don't like the results, you can keep asking for like another 3 options, right? So
there, I have to put that. I had to click Gen Expand. There we go. Now it's generating. Yeah, if you don't like the results you get, you can just hit generate again, and it will give you 3 more.
Another 3 more, yeah.
Another 3 more, yeah. And then you can choose which one you want. But I pick usually the best one, and then I just, maybe blend it a little better, right? So I can choose one that has a nice cloud. I kind of like this one, right? And then I'm going to do the same thing again at the bottom, right? So if I just type in there, right? Generate, because it was a little too tight before. I wanted to make sure that I had the top of the mosque, the tower. And if I should have shot it a little bit wider with a little more space around, because when I did the corrections, the perspective corrections, right?
That's perfect. Look at that.
Yeah, it is perfect. See, look at this one. AI is not perfect because look at this. What the heck? It's like, it looks like it's trying to add a bench here, but these guys have like 6 legs or something weird. Yeah, see, that one is not good. It's not perfect. It looks perfect, but
right.
It's not
because you were somehow.
Yeah. There's like half of people there, so none of them are great, to be honest. Our first look goes, oh, that looks perfect, but the guy has no feet, so it doesn't do a really great job with people, to be honest. So I probably choose this first one and then go in and do some edits. So to fix some of these things, I'll just make a new blank layer, okay? And then I'm going to go in and do like the sky right here. It doesn't blend very well, and there's some spots here. So I'm going to use either the healing tool, right? And just heal it up like that, right? So, and I've got sample all layers selected. So I make sure to blend it a little bit better, right? So I have these clouds just blending a little bit nicer like that. Okay. And then as far as these guys here, I would have to do another generation or try and fill in their legs somehow, because literally this is a mess, right? So they should be sitting on a bench, but it doesn't fill the legs very well. So I might actually just go in and remove these people entirely. Yeah, there, remove that reflection, remove these bottom reflection here. So I might go and remove these guys totally. Okay, so in order to do that, I'm going to do another selection. And you see that the blending is not perfect either. But if I do a selection here, well, let's just see. I didn't get quite all of him. So let's get his arm. If I do another generative fill, it should try to fill in the building where the guys are and fill it in with building instead. Let's see if it works. Well, that's not bad. I think this one. So look how it filled that in, and that looks way better. See, these guys are sitting on the edge here. And this bottom part's not perfect, but maybe I can just blur it out a little bit and then not worry about it. So I'm going to save this. And this is a mistake that, again, people make, is when you bring your image from Lightroom, take it back, don't do save as, just do save. Once it's saved, okay, you can see the percentage saving 99%. Then go back here and do close, right? And it's going to tell me it will do that when it's finished. So once it's finished, you can see all my layers and everything there. It brings it back to Lightroom. Okay, and now it's a PSD. So now I have, oops. There we go. Come on, back here. Where did we go? Come on. My mouse is going crazy. There it is. Okay, so now I have a new PSD file, right? So this is what we took over from Lightroom. And now we added some space all the way around. And now it's a nice filled in, right? So there we go. I wasn't planning on doing that one, but there we go.
Yeah, and that place is massive. Like I think it's the second largest mosque in the world.
I think
And,
so, yeah.
You can see, yeah, you can see like, the scale, because you were talking about how difficult it is to try to get everything, in the frame and, making it to be perfectly vertical. It's not easy because you are really standing there very close and the thing is like huge. It's massive.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I had some other ones that I took with a super wide lens as well. So
yeah.
Okay, your turn. I'm going to switch over to you.
Yeah, I wanted to show a couple of, before I go, this is my favorite picture that I
The
took.
same mosque. So that's the same
On
mosque,
the same
guys.
mosque from, no damage was done to cameras on these, no filters or anything like that. I didn't lose any
Beautiful.
tripod leg or anything, but it was sketchy to get there. So
I only have one question for you, Dan.
Yes.
How many things did you drop in the water?
I say nothing. No damage was done to anything.
So
not
Dan
this time. Not that time.
Dan is notorious for dropping or losing things. How much did you pay the guy in India to retrieve your filters, a filter holder?
100 rupees or something like that.
100 rupees, because he didn't want to stick his hand in the water. It's really gross. Dropped his filters in.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Patagonia, didn't you drop something in Patagonia?
In Patagonia, I don't remember.
Okay, you know what? You want to make embarrassing stories about me? Tell them about my camera bag in Cuba.
Oh, Jesus.
My
the one that you left, the one that you left in the casa when we were like
my whole
the
bag.
middle of the road, on the middle of the road.
Yes.
Jesus. Yeah. No.
I didn't leave it in the middle of the road. I left it in the casa. Yeah, to be clear.
No, but you realized that when we were on the way to where we were going. I don't remember next place. Yes. So and then you had to send a taxi driver to collect that bag. But like for 15 minutes you panic, like,
Yes.
oh, where's my bag? Yeah.
I did. So Dan got the last laugh because he loses his things and I lost my whole camera bag. So
Yeah.
but as Rob says, we always take care of everybody else's bags, and that's why I left mine behind, because I made sure that everybody else's bags were on the bus and I forgot my own bag.
So I wanted to show also, I'm not going to edit this picture, but I want to prove that I was brave enough to go down there to the things, and I photographed this guy there. So
The smell
but
was, how was the smell?
yeah, I mean, well,
Bad.
just bad, yes. This one is a little bit difficult. I'm going to try to edit this one. What do you think? This is like because there is a lot of things going on.
He's moving.
He's moving. I have another one. Yeah, because I mean, it's obviously slow shutter. There's almost no light there. This guy is like, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes out of the tannery. And this is the kind of access that you have when you have someone like knows, where to take you, someone that understands photography. You are not going to find these places
By
by
yourself.
yourself or even photograph them. I have this other one. The
Oh,
guy,
I
the
think I
man,
like this one. I like this one better
you
with,
like
because
this one better?
yeah, is that, let me see
Okay.
how many different ones do you have? Let's see all of them.
The other ones is just this one that was from the top. So this is like what you see there. The window is a street level. So basically, you are going down, and this guy is, hitting this furnace, which is hitting the rooms upstairs. And all that you see, around him is like this material that he's, putting into that.
Burning.
So to burn it and to create that heat, and he does that like the whole morning. So he
Oh
stays
my God.
there, and that's what he
Was
does.
it hot in there?
So it was hot. Yes. Yeah.
Well, you're in
So
the
this
first.
is when, yeah. So this is when I got in the first time, and obviously the dust is creating those
Yeah, beams.
light beams there.
Yeah.
I tried to different angles to see if I can have different beams, but no, we didn't have anything better. And then I went behind him, and I got the beams over there. So, but still, if you see, the background, still this area here is still, too bright to me. So I'm going to,
Yeah,
try
do
to
this one.
edit
I like
that.
this one.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
You know what some people like call that when they have the beams like that? It's like gauze light.
Yeah.
Like the beams.
But if you see, I am. This is 6400 ISO and
Yeah.
f4.
Which camera is this one? Which camera? The medium format?
The 50 GFX 50S, I think it was.
So Dan uses the
Yeah.
medium format. Yeah. We talk about this all the time, and Dan brings a lot of camera gear with him.
That's true.
Too much.
Sometimes too much. But hey, I cannot help it.
Well, and then he
Right,
gets
so
stuck in customs at Peru, and they don't let him in with all of his camera gear. So
that
if you
was
guys
not the
are
camera.
listening,
Come on, that was the mistake. I never use that Pelican bag anymore. I mean, that bag is
the
like
Pelican
that.
bag.
That was the problem. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like,
Pelican
okay,
bag.
this guy is loaded, so
Professional.
let's stop
Yeah.
him. Yeah. And remember I had to pay like $200.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then they gave it back to me when I left the country. So
He had to pay $200 to bring his lens into Peru. Yeah. So
yeah.
as you guys can hear, like if you're listening in here, we joke around a lot and we give each other a hard time because we are very good friends and we have a really good time on the tour, and everybody has a really good time. Then they make fun with us too. So we make fun of ourselves, and we get lost in the desert in India and other kinds of crazy things. Just us, not the group, just us.
We got lost in India, but just us. Okay.
Yeah. For the record,
Everybody was in the hotel, and Darlene and I were in the middle of nowhere in the desert. So
and can tell them, we were lost.
Yeah. And we dress them up too. Yes, of course you do. All right, so what I did so far is I added a little bit of exposure and open up the shadows on this one, and added a little bit of vibrance and saturation. I went with the classic chrome. And one of the things that, I like the warm on this area, but I think there is too much light all around him. So I'm going to correct that using mask, and I'm going to use a linear gradient mask to do that. So on this one here, I'm going to make sure that I am not affecting him, and I'm going to drop the exposure there.
And you do the highlights too.
And
Do the highlights. I have an idea for you.
Okay, so
Oh, yeah, you don't want to get the beams. Yeah, you don't want to get the beams to come down. Yeah, that's right.
no, yeah.
Yeah.
So and then I'm going to get that one back. Well, I could brush those lighting if I wanted to, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm going to do another one from down here.
So basically what Dan is doing is he's kind of doing like a custom vignette. He's just darkening those two corners. Yeah.
Yes.
So that you can bring the man out a little bit more.
And it really bothers me. This one here, you see where we have, because these veins are right, but then, I have this here. So I'm going to see.
Maybe
I could try. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah,
I mean, if we have more time, maybe I will.
Right on that spot.
Try to use the brush tool there. But I'm going to do that one. See, but that's like underexposed. So normally, what I will do, because I will do something similar that what Dar did, I will bring that to Photoshop and use. To clone that out, all that hotspot.
Let's see what happens if you take the highlights down. Just take the highlights all the way on.
Mm-hmm.
And then just do adjust the mask to subtract him from the mask.
Well, actually, my idea with him was going to do.
Select him.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I was going to select him. See if he can. Yeah. So, but see, in this case, is also. Getting this area, and I just want the mask on him, so I'm going to subtract. Where do I have?
You have to press it. Yeah, subtract the button. No, the button right there. Subtract.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Linear.
Brush. Yeah, well, I was doing a brush. And it's not doing it. Okay, there you go.
Big one, yeah. Oh, because you're at.
I have it. Yeah. Okay.
There we go.
So I'm just going to remove all these, which I don't want the mask to affect. I'm going to make a smaller one here.
Question for you: are you using a mouse or a tablet? Because I get that question as well.
I am using a tablet. I do it like both ways, but right now for this one, I am using a tablet.
The other thing that Dan could do is, instead of doing select subject, you could try select people, and then maybe it will only select him instead of the oven.
Yeah, that could be. So now that I have that one done,
yeah,
I'm going to screen the exposure on him a little bit there. And
what happens if you bring the white slider up too? Brighten the whites on him too. Yeah. More. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, I like it.
Somehow, let me recover. I know why it's affecting this one here. It shouldn't. Okay. So, but that's the idea. Let's see how we are. See before and after. And I think I will add also a vignette here on this guy.
And it's kind of orange as well, because the light in there, right? Like, where's the light?
Yeah, of course. This is the main source of the light is the fire there, right? And so the whole image was a little bit underexposed, mainly because I was trying to make sure, because I was like, obviously I have other images, and with the flames, I was trying to catch the flames. So basically, every time that I have the flames came in from that oven, it's because he was, throwing the ashes or that material inside,
Mm,
and then it created that. So like, in the other picture that you saw, see, he's like throwing that and he's creating that. So I had to like underexpose to make sure that I
right.
am not blowing, and because normally, if you properly expose as per the camera, that
Yeah.
will be totally white. That fire will be totally white.
Can you turn the clipping
So
warning? Turn the clipping warnings off so we can see without.
yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Oh, that's back on.
So
There we go. Yeah. Yeah, I
yeah,
like it. Yeah.
yeah. So this is
Cool.
before and after.
Cool.
Yeah, and I really don't do much, so I will probably, remove this thing
Thing.
from here.
Ooh, a
Yeah,
spark.
yeah,
Jeez, could you
spark,
imagine like
spark.
if that sparks in there and he's
Yeah,
sitting and it's all flammable, what happens?
yeah. No, but look all these
Oh
sparks. Yeah,
man.
another. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh man. You could
So, but this was really cool.
talk about a dangerous
To
job, right?
yes, yeah,
Holy
yeah.
cow. Yeah, cool. That's cool. I didn't see that one. You must
Mhm.
be, is that 2018 on that one?
2018.
Yeah. So
So
that's your
I think like every iteration, or guy,
so
like you say, like your secret weapon. And it actually happens in all tours. They get like a veteran better, and we know to get places better every time we go. And we ask for access to specific places, and we got them. So I think Morocco is one of those places that, like, I could just go there and do it like with my eyes closed. We've
yeah.
been there like what, 6 7 times now. And it's fantastic.
Okay. I want to do this other one with the light painting because um just to kind of show you some other things, we have the blue Chef Sean. I actually did this one and I put like
Yeah.
a blur on the edges. I was trying to make it like a lens maybe, or tilt shift. So I did that. But it's the blue city and it's so cool. Yeah, it's so cool. Um this one is that Fez? No, that's Fez. And this is kind of a cool shot from the top because you can really see
Mhm.
the Fez overview. This was the first year. There, okay. So I do some crazy stuff as well. It's me on the stage, belly dancing.
Oh, that's where you made me dance. I just
Yeah, I
forgot
did.
about
I
that.
did.
Well,
Yeah, I did.
Jesus
See,
Christ.
see you,
Yeah.
Aaron. And has to go. Okay, so I kind of like this one. Maybe I'll give people a vote. I kind of like this one. This one I thought was funny because it's like it looks old and then it's all the satellites on top, right? That one always strikes me as funny. But the one I wanted to process, and I could take a vote. And let's see, this one also I thought was kind of interesting too. It's like the graffiti with the city street walk, so modern plus the graffiti. Let's see, it's another one that's interesting. How about we just look at some street? Oh, here's a good one for everybody. This is the camel vendor in the market in
Oh, yeah.
Marrakesh.
Yeah.
The camel vendor. Thank you again for your donation, your tip. Thanks so much. Come to Morocco with us. You can see all these kinds of things. Okay. Oh yeah, here you could see we are photographing this guy in the market, and he's got this metal worker, and you can see all of our group photographing him. It's funny, this guy here, Dan, I don't know if you remember, this is Dave. And he
You
actually,
went with me to Bhutan, of course I
yeah,
remember.
but Dave plays pickleball at the same place where I play. We play pickleball now. I see him there
Oh,
all the
really? Yeah.
Yeah, I see him there all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Okay, let me pick a few that might be interesting to process. Okay, so I've got this one. I could do a sky on this one. And the other one I wanted to do was the street one. Where is the street one? Okay, so I've got a few different ones. Everybody can vote on this one. Which one would you like me to process here? So I've got a couple of street ones. And this tent here, this is literally the tent we stayed in the desert. And I could do a sky replacement on this one and show you a sky replacement. And this is the same, this bottom left one, the same place where Dan did the one of the girl in the window. And that's, this is one of the guys that runs that place. So which one would you like me to do? 1, 2, 3, or 4? I've also got one where I can do some layering. Isla wants to see number 1.
Yeah, I like 1 too.
The street with the girl. I'm not sure if she's sharp though. That's the thing, but we can take a look at that. Manfred says number 1, number 1. So far that one is winning. I like the light in number 2, you know, as well, because like they're in the light. So far everybody likes number 1.
It reminds me a street of Havana in Africa.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like everybody, you know, walking on the streets and old buildings and stuff like that.
Okay, so this seems to be the vote here. Okay. Let me get that off. So you can see my exposure settings. Yeah, so Canon, and I'm shooting 200 ISO. And I don't know if she is sharp. Oops. My mouse is going crazy today. I don't know what's going on. There she is. Okay. Come on. Okay. Wait for it. Wait for it. Okay, there we go. Let me close Photoshop because I think it's just making my computer go crazy. So let's zoom in and see. Yeah, I don't know if she's that sharp, but maybe I can sharpen her a little bit. She's got like these like cheetah pajamas or something, you know, the kids playing here. There's a lot going on this street. I think, you know, Anne and I were just walking around, and you can see the first thing was this up here. It's showing me a little lightning bolt here. So it means that there's a newer process version. So I've loaded this image into Lightroom using a previous process version. So I could click this to update it. And I think I've actually, I've actually edited this image before, but I'm going to reset it because there's a lot better masking tools now. Like you can see here, I sort of brushed in a lot of things. So I'm going to reset it actually, and I'm going to start from scratch because I have an idea of something I want to do different with this one. I am going to crop it, and I'm just going to use this auto to see like it should straighten for me. And then I'm going to come in a little bit more like I did on the other crop. And I'm going free form here, so I'm not worried about what aspect ratio. I don't want so much of this wall, and I want to just come in a little bit to the edge of this wall as well. So let's go something like that. And I didn't want as much white sky, so I came down a little bit here as well. Right, let's see how straight that looks. I could also try transform, and let's just try auto and see if it does any correction there. Right, that looks pretty good. Right. The other thing you can do with transform when you have an image like this is you can use the guided, because when you have guided, you can actually draw the line. So I can just draw straight down this wall, right? Then I need something over here. I need a wall. Yeah, it's tricky because I need to have a wall. So I can say, okay, there is my lines. Now it's straight this way. So that looks pretty good. Okay, now I want to brighten her up, and I think I want to change the camera profile. So it's using Astia for now. I had it on Provia, I think. This is, again, Fuji camera profiles like Dan was using, and you get to that here in the basic panel. But I want to actually play around with some of these down here. So these ones that come with Lightroom, right? There's artistic, modern, and vintage. So I'm actually going to check the vintage ones because I kind of want to go with a faded look like this. And that's what I was thinking of for that one that you were working on, Dan, of either the guy in the kiln or there was one of the other ones you were doing. that's kind of interesting, but it makes her really, really dark. I can brighten her, but it kind of makes it feel, you know, I don't know, just older. Like it's like I'm in a third world, right? So vintage, I could try artistic. These are kind of like LUTs, similar idea. I kind of like this one. Right? And once you apply it, you can actually dial it up or down. So if you don't want it as strong, you could dial it down a little bit, which is what I'll do. So I'm going to go 85. And then I need to brighten her. So it's kind of giving it this like almost greenish tint in the blacks. And you notice that it's tucked in the curves a little bit because it's giving it kind of a matte look. So I could tuck in a little bit here. I'll do my clipping warnings. And I usually do my, see my highlights here. It's not going to go all the way to the edge because of that LUT that's been applied, the profile, but I want to brighten her. So let's do a little bit in the shadows. See what that's doing. Is nice job there. Maybe highlights as well. And then I'm going to see if it picks her out. So I'm going to try subject. But I made a preset of my own, Dan. Here, check this out. So I have a preset for a couple of different things. One is just mask the subject in the background. Then I have another one that I set up to lighten the subject and darken the background. So I set that up automatically, right? So it's finding the subject. What does it think? Oh, see, it thinks this is the subject. It didn't even find her, right? So obviously that didn't work. So I will undo that. And I'm instead going to go with people. See, it's not even finding her. Okay, so it's not finding her as a subject. It's not finding her as a people. So I'm going to try object. So when you do object, you can literally just sort of paint over a thing, and it's going to look for the edges. I might even do this whole group of people here, but I want her to stand out. Okay, so now I have them. I usually give them some white as well as exposure to keep the contrast. And I might change my mind. Maybe I don't want them in there. But she's definitely needs to be brightened. If I want to add anything, I can add to this mask. So if there's anything else I want brightened, I can add another object. Oops. Add another object. And just say, okay, I want the bike lightened as well. So it's going to add to that same mask. I'm going to add another object. Let's add this close or whatever it is here. Like that. And then I'm going to subtract the brush. So I'm just going to brush out a little bit. I usually leave my flow at 100% and then I just change the density. So I'm going to not brighten these guys. Change my mind. I want the girl, and then this is too bright, so change my mind here as well. Just a little bit. So now I'm adjusting all of these things at the same time, right? Brighten her, maybe shadows, like so, right? And then if I want to do background, I can try select background and let's see what it thinks is the background. Yeah, everything except the motorbike. So that doesn't work. So I'm going to do what Dan did is select, duplicate and invert. So now it's got everything else. And I'll just bring the highlights down. See, now if I darken it too much, she's like obviously edited. But I'm going to darken a little bit and then brighten the whole exposure a little bit.
Yeah, that looks good.
So there's my before, after. So she stands out, the bike stands out, like that. Yeah. I might attempt a sky replacement on this one. What do you think? Like, it's really kind of like just gray. And I think the bike is too bright now too. So, I changed my mind. I kept adding these things, right? Maybe I want to delete this one. I don't want that in there. And the bike is too bright. So I'll just.
You're right.
Yeah, I'll just use the brush to lower it a little bit. So I want her to stand out more than the bike. So like that. Like that. I still feel like it's crooked. No, right. It's just my eyes. It's just my eyes. So I might do a sky replacement or try to do a sky replacement on this one because I like the grunge of it, but this white sky. So I show people, this is a trick I show Dan. When you look at your image upside down, I call it the upside down trick. Where does your eye go? Right? Goes to this red skirt and the sky, and she's kind of lost. So I might, tone this red skirt down even more. So I use that to guide what it is that I'm retouching, right? So I might do another mask, and let's just pick this red skirt, right? And I'm going to darken the skirt. See, that's better already. Yeah, that's better already. But if I do the sky, it's just going to go gray, right? So I'm going to do a sky replacement. I could do that in Photoshop, but I prefer Neo. So I'm going to take it to Luminar Neo. I'm just going to do a JPEG in the essence of speed because I'm just doing a sky replacement. And I know there's a few. I want to keep the sky that's going to match because the lighting is really sort of hazy. So I want to keep the lighting to match. Oops. Where's my Neo? Oh, maybe I didn't open it. Oh, it still says preparing file. Okay, it's coming. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to take it to the sky replacement. And I know that we have some skies in our sky pack, Rob. So if you want to share that, it's not recognizing it.
Yeah, it's tricky because all the antennas there.
Yeah, it's not recognizing the sky. That's too bad. Shoot. Let's try it again. No, not recognizing it. Well, let's see if Photoshop does. Okay, so let's go edit in Photoshop. Let's see if Photoshop does. Sometimes I'll try one, and then if that doesn't work, I'll try the other. Yeah, there's lots of stuff there, and it's white, so it's not recognizing it as a sky. That's the challenge here. And I prefer Neo because I have previews of my skies in there, and it's easier to do than in Photoshop. But let's see if it finds it. Anyways, and then we're gonna have to wrap up because Rob and I actually have movie tickets. We're gonna go see Bob Marley today. Bob Marley.
Wow, nice.
Yeah. All right, where's my Photoshop? Okay. I don't even know where to find sky replacement in here. I think it's in here. Yeah, sky replacement. Okay, so then I have to go find a sky. Yeah, okay, so it's finding it, but that's not the right sky, obviously. Oh, I have my skies in here. Okay, good. Oh, I only have a couple of them. Yeah, see, I'd have to go and find my skies. That's the challenge.
Don't put the Aurora.
Yeah.
The green one.
No, that's not going to be that's not going to work. So now I have to go find my skies, which is a pain in the butt in here because Luminar finds it for me. Okay, it's in Sky Pack. So now I can't see a preview. There's one that I want that I know that's like kind of cloudy, hazy. I just want some drama in the sky. No, not that. It's one of these ones might work. Maybe this one. Let's try this one. No. So it's also picking up the building. You have to get the right sky, and this, definitely is not the right sky. None of these are going to work either. Yeah, look, sky, sunset. You have to really match the lighting, so I'm not excited about any of these, to be honest. So cancel. That didn't work. Experiment fail. Experiment fail. Oh, interesting. Karen says a Caymanian co-wrote Bob Marley, the movie. Co-wrote the movie. Oh, interesting. Okay, cool. I do want to try this one here, Dan. What do you think? I wanted to try this one with the light painting because when we were in the desert the first year, I'm just going to close Luminar. Anne and I were messing around with some light painting on our deck, and I was doing like this is literally our patio outside our Morocco, whatever you call that, Qassar, or the place we stayed. And I was doing some light painting. I'm trying to get the star trails and so on. So I was thinking about putting these together just to see if I could get the star trails to show up a little bit. So let me just do this.
That's the auberge, right?
Yeah, it's the auberge. Yeah. So I've got 28 images. I don't know if I'm going to completely crash Photoshop, but let's try. So to get this to merge, I'm going to do layers in Photoshop. So I'm opening it as layers. Fingers crossed. Hopefully. Is it doing it? Maybe. It's thinking about it. Here, why don't you do something while I get this opened? Here, go.
I want to show, because you spoke about Chef Shaman. So
okay.
How blue is the blue city? Okay, so these are processed, okay, but I'm going to show you 4 or 5 images taken from the same spot. This is like we climb here like maybe 45 minutes to an hour to get to this viewpoint from the city, which is what you see there. This is when we got there. So I set up the tripod, and it's kind of like a sunset, more kind of no, it's sunset time. So we wait, and the sun started to get behind, the mountains. This is a long exposure, as you can see, like, all the movement on the clouds is because of that. But we started to get like a little bit of light in the town. And I changed the angle, and this is a little
Are you going to
bit,
tell the story?
later. Which one? It was not here, but I can.
Oh,
Yes.
because everybody wants to leave. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And
Totally.
then and this is like I do a close up, and then even another close up. So this is all from the same spot. Different things that you can do, when you are there, like waiting for things to happen for some time. So what story? Story of the drone?
Yeah. No, not the drone. Not the drone. We don't want to tell that one. No, just when you take everybody up the hill at sunset, and then they're like, "Okay, sunset's finished. Time to go."
Oh, okay. Well, that's typically what happened. Yes, I mean,
This part.
normally, okay, I would say at this point, everybody's gone or start to pack up because they want to go and have dinner and stuff like that. Where is everyone? Where you guys are going? We just started here. And normally, when it looks dark for you or whatever, it's amazing for the camera. So this is to me, the most amazing time of the day to go out there photographing. And if I am all the way there, we just want to go, and stay there. I prefer to, have a little bit dinner later or sometimes earlier. In this case, we switch. We have now dinner before we go to this place, but there is no way. There is no way you are going to have, these kind of pictures like during the day. There is no way. And it's not night yet, but it's blue hour. And to me, this is like something very, very unique. So you spend like maybe an hour there, and you get that kind of pictures. Also there, something else I'm going to show. So like this picture, okay, I think Anne was with me on this one. She's not here anymore. This is like 4 blocks to the hotel. So like 2 or 3 people went out with me at night, and we wandered. And I found this corner, and then say, let's wait. So we put tripods there, and we stood there like 20 minutes, maybe 25, until something happened. In between, I have a lot of pictures. But at this particular time, that guy was, coming out of the gallery. This, lady was going with the trolley, and there was a motor. The light, the red beam, is from a motorcycle that started to, pull out. So
yeah, it's cool.
yeah,
it's really cool.
Yeah, and you can only get these images if you are patient enough to stand there, and people look at you. What are you doing here? Are you crazy? But no, this is
Yeah,
the things that you get when you get patience there.
I've got my images
Uh,
open.
this is like same place, a few minutes later. So this guy is walking there. See, I haven't moved the tripod or anything.
Yeah.
So, these kind of things we encourage people to do when they are traveling with us. Some people, no, the funny part is like normally I go, like we have the regular activities, right? And then we have early morning and late afternoon. Most of the time it's myself and two or three people. Like everybody goes to
I will
sleep
stay
or,
out late.
staying
I will
back.
stay out late, and
Yeah.
Dan gets up early. That's what happens.
Yeah. Correct. So this is also Shepshawen at night. So
Cool.
everybody is in the hotel, but just same scenario. Just put the tripod there,
That's a really cool
waited for
shot.
something to happen. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really
So,
cool
so you
shot.
go during the day in this place, and it's super crowded. There is shops, tourists everywhere. You go a little bit, and it's not like midnight. It's not 3 a.m. It's I don't know. I can look. Maybe this is
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock. Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct. So
I mean, it doesn't get any more
yeah,
blue, right? Blue hour and
yeah, no, yeah.
yeah.
And this is after I corrected like the color
Building.
cast from the no for
Oh, the
the
color cast from the lights. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, for the white balance. If you
yeah,
see like this guy is white,
yeah,
okay, so the camera when you shoot this, the camera goes nuts. So this is already corrected. So this is really how blue this place is. It's
yeah,
amazing.
yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got my
Mhm.
layers open now. Okay, so yeah, I was like crazy to open 28 raw files here, but so here's all my layers stacked up. Okay, so what I do is I find the one that's got the brightest in this case because so I'm holding option and then click on the eyeball because I want to put this one on the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to start with this layer and I'm going to move it to the bottom of my stack, right there, and then I'm going to select all the other layers. I'm going to move this one down as well because I might not end up using this one. I'm going to select all these other layers, turn them, I should turn them on first. Oh, why did I turn them all off? Okay. Turn them all on. There's craziness here. Okay, let me fix this. Okay. One. There. No. Why doesn't it want to put them all on? I have to go one by one.
I think there is a way to. I forget, but I
Yeah, I
think there
know
is a way
there's a
to.
shortcut. I think I'm missing something. Okay, so I've got them all selected, and then I'm just
You are
going to
missing one.
the blend mode. Yeah, I missed that one on purpose. So I'm going to change the blend mode to lighten, right? So you see what happens is now anything that is different in the different images is changing and adding to the image as lightness. Okay, so yeah, I chose not to put this one because the chair is too bright. I didn't want that one.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so I'm just checking them all over, right? I can turn them off, on and off one at a time, but I chose not to use this one because it's too bright and blue. So I like it like this better, I think. Or I could use this one and then just turn the opacity of this layer down a little bit. Just turn it down like that. Right, so you can go through one by one and see what each of these layers is doing, right? So there's a little bit of light on the sand on that one. So each layer adds to this, right? So I took these over a period of I'm not sure how long, but now all I have to do is click save and close, and it's going to bring this layered PSD back into Lightroom, and then I can work on it from there. So basically I've stacked all of these light trails, right, and light painting, because I did different things in the flashlight and stuff like that, and bring it back into Lightroom. So it's almost done saving, and then it will close. And I'll go back to Lightroom. So there's the images that I used. Okay, so most of them were not that different. And before I was playing around with some light painting in the sand, but I didn't have my camera in the same position. So you have to be careful to keep your camera not moving. So like Dan said, where he talked about, you know, the setting up at night to do the star trails like this. We've done star trails a few times in the desert and in Morocco, in the desert in India. And you need to have your camera steady. And ideally, you know, I would have taken a lot more images if I wanted more star trails, but I was kind of focused on the light painting here. And just as a side note, it's like, oh, what happens if I stack these? Because I've never actually put these together. And this is just out the back of the auberge, so where we were staying. But it's taking forever to save, obviously, because I have a really big file.
1 trillion gigabytes. Yeah.
Yeah. So just to kind of bring it back here while it's saving, I'm just going to bring it back to over here. So there's a link to the photo tours. You can see the dates for Morocco, Cuba, and Japan. How many do we have for Cuba? Or are we like half booked for that one, I think, right?
Yes, we have 5 spots left.
And how many we have for Japan? Like 4 already booked?
6, yeah, 6 left.
6 left. Okay. And how many for Morocco? I missed that because I went to the bathroom.
6 as
left.
well.
Okay. So we've got lots of spots. Still saving. It's a big file. Any other questions about star trails or star stacking? It's something that I haven't demonstrated on this live before, and maybe, you know, I could dedicate something to night photography and light painting and star trails if that's something that you guys are interested in that are watching. So let me know in the chat if that's something that you would be interested in learning more about, because you can also do star trails and things like this without having Photoshop. Do you have that other app, Dan, the Star Stacks app?
Yes, I use that one normally, but I don't do a lot of you know, style trails. But when I do, I use that one.
Oh, now it says, would you like me to save it? Yeah, I have to save it as a PSB because it's too big. So I have to save it.
It's over 1 gig, right?
Yeah, it's too big. Yeah, so I'll have to save it and re-import it into. What if I just flatten it for the moment here?
Yeah, I was going to tell you, why just, you know, cancel all the, you know, remove all the layers.
I'm just going to save it in here. Okay, so I'm just going to save it here. Because I did star trails a couple of different times, and then I would have to resave this one. So if you go over, yeah, what is it? 2 gigs, I think, is the limit for a Photoshop document, because I opened this as raw files. If I had saved these,
I think it was 1. I don't remember right now. It was 1
no,
or 2,
I think it's 2. I think it's 2. But if I had saved this as JPEGs and then opened the layers as JPEGs, I'd probably be okay. But I opened like 28 raw files like a crazy person. So I'm going to end it there. So I'll probably just finish this one up by putting a vignette on the edge anyways. We do not have a topic for next week, Rob. Do we want to pick a topic for next week? There's a question. Isla says, yes, please, for the night thing. So maybe why don't we just continue with that theme and do the night photography. So next week, same time, we're going to be doing night photography. I'll probably send that out in an email notice to everybody as well. And I want to thank Dan for joining me today. And
thank you for having me.
He's always a good sport. And Rob and I are off to go see Bob Marley. So we got to fly.
Enjoy.
Thanks, everybody. Take care.
Bye-bye.